today with Mr. Jim Jackson. He's right there. We are speaking with him about his new play, Gods, Guns, and Pancakes, which is playing right here at the Millabo Art Theater. Welcome, Jim.
Thank you. Excuse me, aren't you a clown?
Yes? Do you have a problem with it?
No, but I just thought because it was an interview, there'd be a reporter.
Well,
No, please. Come back. Any attention is
Besides,
great.
Aren't you a clown?
Yes, good point. Good. Shall we continue?
Fine. Is it funny?
What? Your
new play, Gods, Guns, and Pancakes. Is it funny?
Well, it's complicated.
So, it is not funny.
No, I didn't say that. I mean, it's about clowns, and you know.
Oh, clowns. I know all about clowns. And yes, you are right. Sometimes people do not think that clowns are funny. Sometimes people think that clowns are creepy. Creepy, scary.
Yes, and...
So, is it creepy, scary?
What?
Your new play, Gods, Guns, and Pancakes.
Oh, yes. I mean, no. I mean, it's not creepy, scary, not like Stephen King creepy, scary.
It is not creepy, scary, and it is not funny. So, why should people bother to come? It is a good thing that you have the word guns in the title. Tell me, do you blow anything up? Because the words Gods and Pancakes, that is not a big draw. I do not think people will come to that, unless, of course, you're in the primaries.
Look, it was supposed to be a multi-character satirical farce about the current political situation in the country, but that was too creepy and too scary, and then the daily events kept... So I went back to what I know best. I mean, personal stories, stories of escape from a small Colorado town, refuge in the circus, making people laugh, becoming a clown, traveling the world. Personal stories, true more or less.
It is sentimental.
No, it's my story, but it's supposed to be more of a...
It is self-indulgent.
No, definitely not.
How can you be sure? You are only the writer and the performer and the director, and for all I know, you probably sewed your own costumes.
Yes, but I am not the director.
What about the guns?
Oh, yes, the clowns do have guns, some of them, and they do blow things up, but metaphorically only. I mean, it's a small theater. So...
That just about wraps it up. We've been speaking with alleged clown Jim Jackson, whose stickily sentimental, self-indulgent play, Gods, Guns, and Pancakes, will begin right now. And might I further add that it is not suitable for children under the age of reason, because it is not funny, and it is maybe creepy. Creepy, scary. Now, where did I put my hatchet?
Hiya, ladies and gentlemen, step right up, step right in. Let me ask you this question. Are you happy? It's the only way to be, kid. Yes, be happy. It's a good, nice way to be. But not happy, kid. Don't be too doubled up, doggone happy. It's the doubled up, doggone happy people bust hard. They do bust hard when they bust. So be happy, go to it, but not too doggone happy. Hiya, ladies and gentlemen, step right up, step right in.
It all started in Munich, 1976. I was trying to be happy. Happy. I was on the $5 a day backpack literary tour of my favorite German authors. It was a pilgrimage of sorts. I was trying to be happy, but not too doggone happy. I'd already busted hard. A beer garden in Munich. That's where it all began. A beer garden in Munich. I shouldn't be surprised at that. A lot of great adventures have started in a beer garden in Munich. World War II started in a beer garden in Munich. The illicit romance between Hans Schuhplattler and Dirndl Kleider started in a beer garden in Munich. My great pancake adventure begins in a beer garden in Munich. It was just a matter of luck, a moment of happy chance. Wow. I can't believe I'm in a beer garden in Munich. Can you believe I'm in a beer garden in Munich? I am turning 21 in a beer garden in Munich. 21. That's the legal drinking age in the USA. Here in Germany, the legal drinking age is like 4. So it doesn't really matter that I'm turning 21 in a beer garden in Munich. I've been here for a while. About 2 steins worth. And these are giant steins. I mean, back in St. Louis, we'd call these Frankensteins. But it's okay, because I've ordered some food. Pannenkuchen, a German pancake, a big pancake covered with white powdery sugar. Oh, delicious. All of a sudden, a newspaper blows across the courtyard. A newspaper blows across the courtyard, which is very unusual, because in Germany, litter, especially newspapers, are shot on sight as they blow across courtyards. But this piece of paper escapes, and it makes a beeline for my leg, where it sticks. And I try and shake it off, but it just sticks there like it has teeth. And finally I reach down and I pick it up just to crumple it up. I don't want to translate it. I don't want to read it. My head hurts from all the translating I've been doing the last 3 months. I just want to wad it up and throw it away. A picture. A picture of a beautiful, smiling girl standing on top of a beautiful, smiling horse, surrounded by a ring of fire. Either the circus is in town or a new political party has been born. It's an ad for the circus. Circus Roncalli. Roncalli. That is not a German name. Roncalli, like Pueblo Roncalli, the other Catholic high school. We used to play them in football. They were tough. Roncalli. That's a good name for a pope. It's a weird name for a circus. Circus Roncalli. I should go to the circus. I've never been before. But what about the Pannenkuchen? Damn the Pannenkuchen. Damn everything but the circus. It's a line from an old English class. E.E. Cummings. Even when I'm remembering it, I'm seeing everything in lowercase letters. Damn everything but the circus. Yeah, damn everything. Damn everything. Damn Thomas Mann and his impossibly long Magic Mountain. Damn Hermann Hesse for being dead and not being at home. Damn Bertolt Brecht and his boarded-up Berliner Ensemble Theater. East Berlin. Damn the border guards with their ugly machine guns and their guard dogs. Damn the cars on the Autobahn. They seem to aim for me when I'm standing out there alone with my thumb out. Damn my heavy backpack with the one broken strap. Damn the loneliness. Damn my girlfriend for not writing me. Damn me for not writing her. Damn my family for being so up. Damn my mother for dying. Damn. Damn, I've got to take a leak. Damn everything but the circus. If I can find the address, I'm going. Pferdeliebenstraße. I can find that. But why the circus? I've never been before. I'm trying to be happy. I mean, there are clowns. There are clowns in the circus, right? Clowns are funny. I like funny, but not funny, not too doggone funny. I mean, funny like Charlie Chaplin or Red Skelton. I mean, God, what if they're like Bozo or Blinky? It doesn't matter. I am going to the circus. Damn everything. The thing you have to understand is, to be a clown, you have to be free. It also helps if you're moderately sure that you're not actually crazy. In the circus, they say clowns are born. If you ask an old-timer, how do I be a clown? They just laugh and they say, a clown just is. In 1976, I was not a clown. I was just a kid waiting for a pancake. I was in Europe the summer between my junior and senior year at St. Louis University, a very Catholic, very Jesuit place. I'd been a psychology major. Before that, I was a German major. Before that, I was an English major. Before that, I was undecided. Undecided is a major. Now I'm undecided again. The joke was that those of us who were studying psychology, we were only studying psychology to find out that we were really not that weird. In my case, the stakes were a little higher because my mother and my brothers and my sisters, they were all struggling with real, certifiable mental illness. So I think I studied psychology as a way to understand them. Or maybe as a way, a little heads up, a warning for what might be in store for me. A little knowledge. Knowledge will set you free. Die Weisheit macht die Freiheit. Goethe or Calvin and Hobbes. Knowledge will set you free. And it did set me free. It set me free to understand a little bit the demons that my family was struggling with. The demons that plagued my mother. The last time I saw her, she was in the state mental hospital, and she was delusional. And she kept calling me doctor. Oh, doctor. Oh, help me, doctor. Oh, my son, the doctor. What should I do, doctor? What should I do to be happy? Tell me, doctor, tell me. And then a few days later, she died. Damn. Damn everything but the circus.
Weisheit macht die Freiheit. I'm sorry. I did not see you standing there. This circus has not been treating you well. I can see right through you. They are not feeding you. You are but skin and bone. Is it because you are not happy? You must be happy. Happy. But not too doggone happy. It is the doggone happy people bust hard. Oh, you have already busted hard. Oh, but you must be happy. Here for you, something for you. This will help, I know. Something for you. Is not that better? Is much better. Damn everything but the circus. What can we do, you and I? Our fate is sealed. Your fate is sealed. Your fate is sealed. My fate is sealed. My fate is sealed. I love that phrase. My fate is sealed. It's so gothic, so full of nasty doings, ending in death. Fate, fatality, fatos. My fate is sealed. Predestination, signed, sealed, and delivered. Free will be damned. My fate is sealed. The only one who should really ever use that phrase, the only one who can use that phrase in all honesty, Darling Darlene. That was her real name. Darling Darlene. We used to use her name as a warm-up backstage. Darling Darlene drinks Darjeeling tea daringly. Darling Darlene drinks Darjeeling tea daringly. Darling Darlene and her trained seals. It was a unique act. She played up and down the East Coast. One time I shared a dressing room with her. A dressing room with her and her grandchildren and her 3 macaws and her 7 dogs and her pride and joy. 2 blue, black, fishy-smelling, but good-natured seals named Pride and Joy. All of us together in one very small dressing room on a hot summer day. Go, go, go. Earth. Go. She was a legend, Darling Darlene. And not just because of the Seal Act. She was a legend because she was the only one who could get away with using her publicity photos that she had taken when she was 23 years old, using them still when I knew her at age 68. And if a producer or director asked her about them, she would just say, "Oh, honey, I got such a good deal on those photographs back then. I had to buy them by the hundreds. I'm just waiting for them to run out." We did a phone show in Pennsylvania one time together. Wintertime, Christmas show, playing only high schools. I pull into this parking lot and I see Darlene's van. It was easy to recognize. It was an old UPS truck. She'd outfitted it as a traveling zoo. She'd put in cages and kennels, and in the back, a giant swimming pool. I mean, a big steel tank,
hundreds of gallons of water. The van went down the road like this. It was so heavy. And the tank was for the seals. But on this day, I spotted her van, and it was going round and round and round in circles, furious, maddening circles, round and round, and the back doors had flung open, and water was flying out the back of the van. And at first I thought some high school kids had stolen her van. Or worse yet, maybe the fish smell and the screaming macaws had finally driven Darling over the edge. When the van stopped, I ran over to it, and there was Darling in the driver's seat. Woo-hoo! Yeah! Darling, what the hell? Oh, hi, Clowny. Did you just get in? Darling, have you been drinking? Oh, no, Clowny, never before 5. Oh, you mean, why am I out here turning donuts in the parking lot? Well, haven't you ever heard of centrifugal force? No. You know, centrifugal force. You get something spinning around real fast, and then things start flying off of it, or in my case, flying out. That's all I'm doing. I'm just getting that water back there in that tank. I'm just getting it to slosh this way, and that way, and this way, and that, and pretty soon it just jumps out of the tank. That's all I'm doing. I'm emptying the tank. Isn't that a little hard on the seals? Oh, Clowny, you know they are back on the loading dock, and you should get there too because I got work to do. And then she just sped off. And as she left, she waved out the window and said, "Centrifugal force is your friend." Centrifugal force is your friend. And I ran for the loading dock, and I got there, and I stood on the loading dock with her macaws and her grandchildren and her dogs and her pride and joy. And we all stood there and watched the van going round and round and round in circles with water sloshing out the back. Her fate was definitely sealed. And mine too. That night, back in the beer garden, I did go to the circus. I went to Circus Roncalli, and as soon as I stepped into the tent, I knew that I had crossed a border. This beautiful showgirl with exotic makeup, she grabbed my arm. And before I knew it, she had put a little daub of sparkle, of glitter, and it smelled like perfume. She put it right there on my cheek, and then she led me to my seat. She led me to my seat with so much care, so much attention that I thought it was, everything. I thought the lights and the set and the stage, everything was just for me. And the music changed, and the show started. And from this golden curtain at the back of the ring, there galloped out this big white horse. And it started galloping around and around and around the ring. And it had no saddle. It had no halter or bridle. It had no trainer. It was just there by itself, galloping round and round and round and round the ring. And then, from some unseen or unheard cue, it just left the ring. And the show began with acrobats and trapeze and wire walkers and clowns. I didn't know it at the time, but I was watching the Colombioni family from Italy. 5th generation clowns. They could trace their art all the way back to the Commedia. They did this musical comedy act. It was so funny. I couldn't help but join in. I was laughing. I was stamping my feet. I was applauding. And then it was over. And I just sat there staring at the empty ring. Until they came to close up the tent. And that night, as I headed back to my tent at the campground, I knew I'd be back. And I did go back. I went back every day, every night. I went back. I would do anything. I would clean up trash. I would clean out horse stalls. I would paint. I would anything for tickets. And they didn't seem too surprised that I wanted to hang around. I mean, they were suspicious because they knew I was American. And this was just at the end of the Vietnam era. It was the first time that I found myself pretending to be Canadian. One afternoon, I was just hanging out in the tent, looking busy. And the Colombioni clowns came in to rehearse. It was two brothers, a short brother and a tall brother. And they came into the ring and they set up their stands and their instruments. And then the short brother saw me and he pointed and he started yelling to his brother in Italian. And they were both looking at me. And I was thinking that maybe it was time to just go on about my business. But the tall brother walked right up to me. And he said, excuse me, yeah, yo, hey, excuse me. You a spy? No, I am not a spy. I don't know why I do that. I mean, I don't know why, but whenever I hear somebody talking in an accent, I just have to mimic them. I just talk back to them that way. I think they'll understand me better. But he just looked at me. And so I said in my best American, I said, no, I am not a spy. I'm just leaving. I know you're not a spy. I know my brother, he thinks you're a spy. My brother, he's crazy. I know you're not a spy. So, you want to be a clown? No. I mean, I don't think so. Of course you want to be a clown. Of course, who wouldn't? Why else would you be a spy? And then he grabs my arm and he takes me down to the ring and he says, okay, I show you to be a clown. I show you to be a clown. Here, sit in the chair. Sit in the chair. Good. Now, can you do like a roll, like a somersault? See, like a roll. Yes. And then he throws me out of the chair, just like that. He doesn't give me any warning. He just throws me out of the chair. And I do not do a somersault. I do not do a roll. I just land on my head and my face and I'm there. Not bad, but we'll try again. Sit in the chair. So I sit in the chair, never taking my eyes off of him. I sit in the chair, and the little brother throws me out of the chair. And I flat again and kind of a half roll, a half somersault. Not bad. Sit in the chair. So I do. I sit in the chair again. And he throws me out again. This time I'm ready. And I do a nice somersault. No. The thing you have to understand, the thing you must know, for the clown, the fall is not funny. When you are falling, the people they watch, they are going, oh. They cannot laugh. They cannot laugh. They are afraid. But when you land, then we see you are a clown, and we laugh. He's a clown, he is falling. And then they threw me out of the chair again. Over and over again, until I was dusty and punch-drunk. I didn't know which end was up, and then they said, okay, we know you're not a spy. You're just stupid. And they left. But before they left, they turned back and said, okay, we'll see you tomorrow. And just like that, they grabbed me by my seat and they threw me into some slapstick destiny. My fate was sealed.
A few days later, I'm hitchhiking out of Munich. And I'm standing on the entrance ramp to the Autobahn. And my neck hurts and my shoulders are aching. And I'm practicing my newfound skill of juggling. I don't have any props, so I just pick up rocks from the roadway. And I'm standing there, throwing them and picking them up and throwing. And nobody stops for a long time. I don't know why. I'm just throwing rocks. I mean, would you? And my hands are bruised. Damn. Hiya. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, step right in close. I have for you a question. This face you got, this here physiog you carry around, you never picked it out for yourself at all, did you? No, somebody handed it to you, am I right? Somebody handed it to you and said, here's yours. Now go see what you can do with it. Somebody slipped it to you, and it was like a package marked, no goods exchanged, once taken away. This face you got, hiya. This here physiog, hiya. Barely a year later, I'm standing with a hand mirror in my hand, looking at my face and putting on a white pancake, clown white pancake. I am a clown in a circus. How did I get here? After Germany, after Roncalli, it could have all ended. It could have just been a passing fling with the gypsy life. I leave Europe. I go back to school. It's my senior year. There are classes and grad school applications and my job. I'm the head RA of a 600-student dorm. I'm part of a senior research project in the psychology department. We are studying monocular vision and its effect on the brains of cats. This is the pressing mystery of what happens to a cat brain if you poke out one of its eyes.
I have a hypothesis that the cat will not be able to see as well. But I keep this to myself because this is a serious research project. I spend a lot of time looking through a microscope at slices of cat brain. Cats and rats and dogs with bells salivating. Oh my. And my mind wanders to a beautiful smiling girl standing on top of a beautiful smiling horse surrounded by a ring of fire. In the evening, I practice my juggling. I live on the top floor of an undergraduate dorm named the Zoo. My entire floor is freshmen. Freshmen who would rather drink beer and skip class. Freshmen who, for some reason, are intrigued by the simple trick of keeping 3 balls in the air. I teach them how to juggle. I teach all of them how to juggle. And every night, everybody gathers outside their rooms in the hallway, and we juggle. We juggle. Balls are flying up and down the hallway. Their parents are spending thousands of dollars on undergraduate degrees, and their students are dropping balls down the hallway. Some of them get pretty good. Some of them get very good. Some of them get very good. And so I feel like a positive role model. But for me, it does not end there. No, I do tumbling or falling out of chairs. I do a fencing class. I take a fencing class with a paranoid Frenchman who believes that he's the messiah of fencing. We don't fence much. We just stand there with masks and foils and listening to him talk. And he talks and he talks. If only they would listen to me, but they will not listen to me. I don't know why. They do not listen to me because they are against me. They know that if I could show them my style, I would revolutionize the sport of kings. One day I tell him that I think the sport of kings is chess. He just glares at me. All my teachers, all my advisors, all my professors, they think that I am losing focus. It's not that I'm losing focus, it's just... One day I'm cutting across the quad. I'm sure I'm late for class. And there's this big crowd of students. And they're all gathered at one end and they're watching a show. But it's not like a rock concert. There's no big stacks of speakers, no blaring guitar. It's just 3 guys in white face makeup. And they're standing in front of this van. And I can't quite hear what they're doing, so I get up closer. I inch my way up all the way through the crowd until I'm right at the front. And just as I'm about to sit down, I catch the eye of one of the performers. And he's an older guy. He's got a red beard, a goatee and mustache, and very long red hair. And he's completely bald on top. It looks like he's wearing a clown wig. But it's his real hair. And just as I'm sitting down, I catch his eye and he says, "You're late. Now we have to do the whole damn thing all over again." And this gets a huge laugh. And I sit down and the show is just beginning. And it's poetry and it's political jokes and it's theater and it's circus tricks and they even have trained animals. They have a trained black bear. They bring the animal out and then they tell us in great detail all the tricks the animal will do. And then they command the animal and the animal just looks. It's the best animal act I've ever seen. It is the funniest thing. and there's juggling, and there's tightrope, and one of the guys, still in whiteface makeup, he comes out, he's just wearing a Speedo swimsuit. And the girls and some of the guys start whistling. And then they bring out this giant silver milk can. It's a big, big milk can, and it's completely filled with water all the way up to the top. And the other two guys grab the swimsuit guy, and they plunge him into the milk can, all the way in, his head all the way in. And then they grab the lid, and they slam it on, and they start padlocking it on. Then they bring up this little tent, and the audience starts counting. And we're counting, and we're counting, and we're counting. And about the time we get to 96, we're starting to get a little worried. And the people with the tent, the other clowns, they're starting to get a little worried too. And then they lower the tent, and then they start to frantically take off the locks. They take off the locks, and then we all start laughing because we realize that one of the guys taking off the locks is in a swimsuit. How did they do that? Then the old guy with the beard, he comes out and he eats fire. He does a very funny fire-eating routine, and they pass the hat, and the show is over. And everybody starts drifting away except me. I am just sitting there watching. And the performers come back in their street clothes. And they've taken off their makeup except for a little telltale white along the chin. And I'm still just sitting there. And one of them notices me and he yells, "Hey, buddy, don't you have class?" And the other one, without missing a beat, he says, "He's here, isn't he? Probably doesn't have any class at all." And then the bearded guy who I figured out is the boss, he comes up to me and he says, "Hey, you." And right on cue, I say, "I'm not a spy." And they all laugh. And then he says something that catches me completely off guard. I have not heard it in so long. He says, "Did you have fun?" Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Excuse me, how does one go about learning this kind of thing? Well, that's something maybe we should talk about. You a coffee drinker? Yeah. And so 2 hours later, we're at this coffee shop, and I'm telling him about Roncalli, I'm telling him about Germany and juggling and psychology, and he's telling me about his show. And then he sets down his coffee cup and he says, "We have a place for you on the show next year if you want it." Just like that. No audition, no press shots, no juggling, nothing. Just like that. Just like that. He says, "The circus finds the people it needs. Here's my contact number. Just call me, okay?" Yes. Yes, you're going to call me? No, yes. I'll be there. You just tell me where or when, I'll be there. It's a big commitment. It's a lot of shows. It's a lot of traveling. It's a long time. It's a long year. There's not much money. Correction. There's no money. Okay? Okay, yes. You better think about it. It's a big deal. You got to talk to friends. You got to talk to family. You don't just join a circus. Okay? And then he says something I'll never forget. He says, "Down the road." Just like that. Down the road. He doesn't say, "See you down the road," or "Tomorrow we'll be down the road." It's just down the road. And later I find out that that's a circus goodbye. Like it's a given. You're going to see everybody down the road. So I take his advice. I I go tell my best friend. I go talk it over with my best friend, Dave Lane. He and I were roommates my sophomore and freshman year. He spent those 2 years in a smoky haze of Jefferson Starship and Bush beer and rock concerts. And then something happened to him. He changed. He got real serious, and now he's pre-med. Wow. Now, Jackson, let me see if I've got this straight. You are going to join a circus. You are going to be a clown. Wow. Wow. Oh, man. Oh, man. I cannot get my head around. Man, are you me? A clown? A circus? I thought you were going to grad school. Hey, have you told Bridget? You got to tell Bridget. You guys are pretty serious. You got to tell Bridget. Bridget was my girlfriend of the past 2 years. I mean, we were pretty serious for college. Yeah, man, thanks. Thanks. Down the road. How do you do that? I mean, I know I have to do that. I can't, it's not like I can just disappear. But how do you do that? How do you tell somebody that you love that you're joining a circus? That you're going to become a clown?
Hiya, ladies and gentlemen. Now you have asked me a question. Let me tell you the answer. Once I was a flower seller, a hawker of roses, and always I would call a cabbage with every rose, a good sweet cabbage with every rose. A rose for you, sir, the ladies like roses. A cabbage, sir, the gentlemen like cabbages. The answer, son, be quick and buy 2 roses and 2 cabbages. The roses for your lover, and the cabbages for your little lonesome self. Or am I wrong? Is love a rose you can buy and give away while keeping all the cabbages for yourself? Hiya, ladies and gentlemen, step right up. A rose is for sale. A cabbage is for sale.
Bridget, you gotta understand. You just gotta understand. I gotta go do this. I don't know, since I've been back, nothing else has felt right. I mean, no. You and I have felt right. I mean, haven't we? Don't we? No, I know it's crazy. I am not crazy. Well, maybe I'm a little bit crazy. But I gotta go do this. I'm sorry, but I gotta. No, please, don't. No. I do love you. But I gotta. I love you. But I gotta. No, I do, but
Oh, a romantic dinner for two. Eyes, us at the table. A romantic dinner for two. But how many are we? More than two. A la one, a la two, a la one. It's a three. It's a four. I know it's a five. I know you're not. In jail. In jail for giving away the rose while keeping the cabbage. I'm waiting for a day, for a week, for a month. Damn the roses. Damn the cabbage. Damn this letter. Damn everything but the circus.
So I do join the Royal Liechtenstein Circus. No, sir. It has nothing to do with Liechtenstein, the country. Except we are very small. We are very small. And yes, I do join the Royal Liechtenstein Circus. No, sir. No, not the Royal Lipizzaner Stallions. No. Although we do have a miniature horse named Dan Rice. No, it is the Royal Liechtenstein Quarter Ring Sidewalk Circus and Traveling Menagerie. What we are is three guys in white tights with black ballet slippers and white face makeup, colored tunics, little whistles. And we are bombing around the country in a van. Shades of Darlene, minus the seals. What we have in the van, props and rigging. 2 dogs named Pepe and Jingles. 3 house cats named Gunther, Gable, and Williams. A bad-tempered spider monkey named Susie. And a collection of cooing doves. And we are all together in the van for a year. I am the 1st of May, the apprentice clown. The master is a closeted, flamboyant Jesuit priest with a sharp wit and a bag full of magic and the best line in the show. If there's a heckler, somebody up front giving him a hard time, he just looks at them sternly and says, "Quiet! You're in church." Our third partner is sweet but possessive, a former ballet dancer from Montana who's a little awkward in the ring but great with the animals. And he's in love with the master. It's a strange triangle, a weird triad. It becomes the definition of loneliness. We are on the road. We are on the road and we play only colleges and the odd soup kitchen and the odd Indian reservation. We play Harvard and Yale. We play Orange County Community College. We play Tuscaloosa U. We play Arapahoe Community College. We play University of California, Davis, a lunchtime show. It's the middle of the show, and it's my turn to go and get an audience volunteer. And in the Royal Liechtenstein Circus, we are trained not to just stand there passively saying, "Excuse me, could we have somebody help us?" No. No, we make eye contact with the volunteer victim. We make eye contact with them, and then, without losing eye contact, we rush towards them. We sprint out of the ring, and we grab them by the shoulder, and we say, "A big round of applause for the young man who will help us now." And we bring them up. They never have a chance to say no. On this day, I spy my volunteer victim. I make eye contact. And I am rushing towards them. I am rushing towards them, and I leap over the ring curb, and as I leap over the ring curb, my back foot hits a bundle of blankets, but I don't care, because I am looking at my volunteer victim, and I am rushing towards them until I hear, "You stepped on my baby!" How could I step on her baby? The bundle of blankets. What is a baby doing on the ring curb of a circus? What stupid moron would put their baby on the... I'm sorry, did I... You stepped on my baby! You stepped on... Did I really step on the baby? Is the baby okay? Is the baby... You stepped on my baby! You stepped... And now the baby is awake, and she is screaming, "Ah! You stepped on my baby!" The baby is okay. The baby is okay, but screaming, "Yeah!" And the woman is screaming, "You stepped on my baby, you bastard! I'm gonna kill you! You The master comes out and eats fire. "Quiet, you're in church." And I slink back. I slink back into the backyard, and I see my entire showbiz career spinning out in a newspaper headline, "Clown tramples baby." We don't get paid. I mean, not just because of the baby. We never get paid. We're not that kind of circus. We're more kind of a medieval minstrel traveling show. You know, in the old days, you do your show, and then if people liked it, they'd give you a loaf of bread or a chicken. It's kind of like that, except people give us change or dollar bills. For a whole year, I live off of small change. I have no expenses. We keep a big bag of change under the driver's seat. I pay for everything in quarters, nickels, and dimes. After every show, we pass the hat. And I am learning to be a showman. I am learning about life. I mean, I jump through a hoop held by a dog. I walk a tightrope dressed as a gorilla. The master and I, we juggle hatchets. We juggle hatchets, and we pass them back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I practice every day. The master seldom practices. One day the master catches a sharp blade in the palm of his hand. Ouch. I become a solo juggler of hatchets. It was inevitable. I mean, it was inevitable that one day, one sunny late October day, we would play my old school, St. Louis University. And in the middle of the show, I am doing the Houdini mail sack escape. This is a classic escape where I am handcuffed and shackled and stuffed into a giant canvas mail sack, which has been inspected by the audience. And then the top of the mail sack is padlocked closed. They bring up a little tent, and I escape in 30 seconds or less. And as I'm escaping the bag, as I'm lifting my head out of the bag, I spot my old girlfriend, Bridget, at the far end of the crowd. And standing next to her, my old roommate, David Lane. And they're holding hands. And they're looking as puzzled as I am. They're a couple. They go on to get married. He becomes a doctor. She's a nurse. They have 4 children. They live in Iowa City, Iowa. And I go on. I go on to be stuffed into a mailbag another 112 times. But I always escape. Always. And I learn that no matter how much you're searching for beauty, no matter how hard you're reaching towards it, there's a lot of ugliness on the road. But it doesn't matter because you have to take it all together. It's all on the same plate. It's all mixed up. You got to take it together with every bite. And I also learn that the secret to being a successful performer, a successful clown, is to never not be in a show. Never not be in a show. As long as you're in a show, you never have time to think, maybe I should be doing something else with my life. So when Liechtenstein closed, I could not be in a show. So I found an edition of Circus Report, a newspaper for circus. Something like that does exist. And I opened it up and there was an ad, clowns needed. How often do you hear that? Clowns needed. And there was a phone number, Hoxie Brothers Circus. So I called the number. And the guy's down in Florida, and I talked to him for maybe 5 minutes. He seems really bored. He says, yeah, we need clowns. Come on down. Just like that. I'm in another show. So I have this old rusting 67 Volkswagen Bug, and I take out the back seat, and I throw in a footlocker, and my sleeping bag, and a mountain tent, and a cook stove, and I drive to Florida, to the Hoxie Brothers Circus. And if Liechtenstein Circus was the boot camp of clown, then Hoxie Brothers Circus is heavy combat. Hoxie Brothers Circus, a big show, a mud show. Called a mud show because that's the condition we work in. That's the lot that we put the tent upon every day. Mud, dirt, dust, grime, nothing shopping mall, nothing air conditioned. We are roughing it. And yet, every day, 2 times a day, we create a spotless, magical show. And I stand at the back door, and I always watch the last act. The loyal Rapinski riders, acrobats and horses together. 2 big black Percheron horses, draft horses, think Clydesdales, but all black, matching. And they come into the ring and they begin to gallop round and round and round. The loyal Rapinski riders. Papa Loyal, he was a big name with Ringling back in the 40s and 50s. He comes into the ring in a beautiful blue tuxedo. He has a little riding crop. And then his son and his daughter-in-law, they begin to do acrobatics on the horses. The horses are moving all the time, round and round the circle. They ride side saddle. They ride Cossack. They go under the belly of the horse. They come around. Always the horses are nose to tail as they go round and round and round. And the big finish trick, Timmy stands on the back of the front horse. And to a massive drum roll, he does a back somersault onto the back of the second horse. Horribly dangerous. I mean, if he misses, he falls from an 8-foot horse. He risks being trampled by the horse. He does not miss. And the horses continue to go round and round and round and round. And I feel that centrifugal force. I feel that the other world is flying away and being replaced by this show. A big show. 1,000-seat tents, 17 semis, 40 performers, 60 working people. They say you can tell a circus is in town by the smell, and we have horses, and we have chimpanzees, and we have dogs, and we have a blind camel, and we have 2 llamas, and we have lions, and we have elephants. 4 elephants that not only do an act, but help us raise and lower the tent. And raise and lower it we do. Every day. 2 shows. We pack it all up. We move 40 miles down the road. We set it all up again. 2 shows a day, 1 day stands. For 9 months. In a big circle all east of the Mississippi. And I love it. Because I'm here to be a clown. Because I'm here to perfect my art. Big mistake. On Hoxie Brothers Circus, clowns are barely tolerated. I mean, what's expected of us as performers is so meager, so low. We're stuck in this limbo between performer and working man, and please get lost. The boss clown, Walter, he has 2 rules. All right, you first amaze. You first amaze, listen up. I got 2 rules. Clean makeup. Clean costume. That's it. Clean makeup, clean costume. $5 a day fine if they're not. Okay, that's it. Clean makeup, clean costume. Walter had a 3rd rule, which we found out later. And don't do anything funny when you're out there. It takes the attention away from me. I'm the boss clown. Take the attention away from him. How could you help it? I mean, Walter is the singularly most unfunny person I've ever met in my life. I mean, he is humor challenged in an extreme way, both outside and inside the ring. I mean, the cardboard cutout that we have of a clown, the life-size cardboard cutout that is on the midway as you come in the tent, that is funnier than Walter. And we test this one day. Walter's sick, so we take that cardboard cutout and we put it into the ring. And then we do the whole routine around it. And he gets the same number of laughs. As in, not too many. Walter is only on the show because he and his wife Myrtle have the chimpanzee act. It's a humiliating act. 2 chimpanzees dressed as toddlers. And they bring them into the ring, and then we all watch as they bang on things. And then they ride tricycles. The chimpanzees, not Myrtle and Walter. There are other clowns on the show. The Clown Alley. There's Michael and Caroline. They are graduates of the Ringling Brothers Clown College. They have great makeup. And I'm sure they'd be funny if they were just given half a chance. And then there's Rollo. Rollo dropped out of high school to join the circus. Rollo loves to be a clown. Correction. Rollo loves looking like a clown. Daily, we have to talk him out of having his white face makeup tattooed onto his face. Well, it would save me a lot of time. You know, it takes about an hour, and I'm in it all day anyway. I really think if we got the right ink, it'd look good. Bad idea, Rollo, bad idea. I mean, one day you're going to leave the circus. You're going to want to get a job at, like, Kmart. And, well, I could always wear a mask. The owner of the circus, Hoxie Tucker, old showman. One day he looked at Rollo and he said, "Rollo, son, if brains were dynamite, you wouldn't have enough to blow your nose." He was easily carried away with comic energy, and he was accident prone. It's a dangerous combination. And then there was me. a long-haired, out-of-place college kid. I'm just here in the right place at the wrong time, or maybe the wrong place at the right time. I'm just here. I like makeup that looks like a mime's makeup because it's more European. And I spend most of my days just practicing in the tent and reading books. Oh, and another thing, I really, really, really think that clowns should be funny. Walter thinks I'm a total weirdo. Your problem, Jackson, is you think too much. I've been around these kind of shows for a long time. I know what works. Now listen to me. Listen to me. What works? It's a big tent, right? There's a lot of people. You got to get their attention. What works? You got to blow something up. Yeah? You got to blow something up. I love that. I love that. I love seeing them jump. I watch them and they spill their popcorn. Yeah, you got to blow a lot louder, the better. Guns. Guns are good. Guns, yeah. Yeah, clowns and guns and high explosives. And that was pretty much his philosophy of comedy. So it's no wonder that the only clown routine we did day after day was called the Big Blow Up. The Big Blow Up. I played a cop with a gun, a real gun, a .38 revolver loaded with blanks. There's Rollo sitting there. He's there. And that's Walter. Walter dressed as a bank robber. He runs into the tent. Rollo says, "Stop!" But the bank robber does not stop. No, the bank robber starts to run away, and then for some unknown reason begins to hide in a little house, leaving his bag of money on top of the house. I come in. I am the policeman. I am the policeman. I am firing off my gun into the tent, a real gun with blanks. I asked Rollo, where did he go? Where did he go? Rollo rats him out. I demand that he come out of the little house. I even shoot off my gun for emphasis. He does not come out of the house. So I do what any sane, logical clown would do. Rollo hands me dynamite. I light it. It's kind of my Clint Eastwood spaghetti western clowning. I throw the dynamite. And this is the really funny part. It explodes. The walls fall down. And Walter has changed into a little devil costume. And he leaps out complete with pitchfork and horns. And he chases us out of the tent to resounding, stunning silence. Because the people are scared shitless from the explosion that blew up the house. I mean, this is a routine that is so simple a 5-year-old can follow it. That's good. It's like a Bugs Bunny cartoon minus the music or the laughs. That's bad. It kills me. So when the house blows up, I do this amazing kamikaze backflip somersault, landing in a splat on the asphalt or the grass, or just for a laugh, just for anything. This clown reenactment, which the theater spared no cost on. I mean, it's hard to find clown reenactors these days. But we did it. We found clown reenactors. It was almost accurate, except that the clown playing Rollo left the box too early. Because Rollo is standing not just on an ordinary box, he is standing on a gun box. It is called a gun box because it is a box of wood loaded with 2 12-gauge shotgun shells. Blanks, but still 12-gauge shotgun shells. And his job is to take his big clown foot and hit the trigger, causing a massive explosion, which will scare the audience and stun them into silence. Normally this would be okay because the gun box is up against the giant heavy ring curb, absorbing the blast. But Walter made a fatal mistake. He entrusted high explosives and guns to clowns. And something was bound to go wrong. And it did. After 7 months on the road in Warner Robins, Georgia, Rollo, nobody knows why. Rollo, only God and Rollo know. They know why. On that day, he moved the gun box right up next to the little plywood clown house. And not only did he move it up next to the little plywood clown house, but he inadvertently turned it around so that now the 12-gauge shotgun barrels in the box were pointing into the plywood house. So as I threw the dynamite, Rollo tripped the gun box with his foot, and Walter, crouching in his little devil costume in there, a massive explosion that blew a good portion of the plywood house into Walter's posterior. He leaps up, the walls fall down, and we hear a scream that starts with and ends with "Damn you, Rob!" But it was pretty unintelligible. I don't think the children could hear it. And he leaps up, and he is just out of habit. He's doing his little devil dance. But now his costume is on fire. His cape, there are flames, and you can see the splinters hanging down his leg, and his costume is torn in flames. And Rollo, being the quick-thinking clown, rushes over and grabs a water bucket, a bucket that we had for fire under the stands, and he takes and he throws it at Walter. And then Walter, just smoking now, chases us, chases Rollo and I out of the tent. And if we had not been running for our lives, we would have heard a massive explosion of laughter. The whole tent, the biggest laugh we got all season. But we didn't have time because we were running for our lives, and Walter was right behind us, and we ran through the back door into the backyard. And Walter caught up with us, and he was screaming and screaming at Rollo. And then he grabs the pistol out of my hand, the .38 revolver that I've been carrying. And he points it at Rollo, and now we can understand his speech, and we know that he means to kill Rollo. He means to kill. Except the gun is just filled with blanks, so we're not too worried about it. And I think Rollo figures this out too. And so Rollo grabs for the gun. Maybe he thought Walter would get frustrated and just throw it at him. Or maybe he thought he was in a Bugs Bunny cartoon, and he thought he could put his finger in the barrel and the gun would backfire, reducing Walter to black ash. But he grabs for the gun, and as his fingers go around the barrel, he pulls and the gun goes off, taking a good portion of Rollo's white-gloved hand with it. The next day, the circus pulls out on schedule, minus Rollo, who's in the hospital having 3 fingers reattached, and minus Walter, who's in jail for assault with a deadly weapon. Walter gets out in a few days because he convinces the judge that it really was not a deadly weapon. It was a clown prop. And accidents happen with clowns and in the circus. I never see Rollo again. I heard he went back home, probably got a job at Kmart. It's too much for Michael and Caroline, the other clowns, so they blow the show. As in, one day they just keep driving all the way back to California. But me, I stick it out. I don't know why. I mean, it's gotten so crazy. And yet, I mean, I'm the only clown left standing. What's a circus without at least one clown? Maybe it was that centrifugal force. Or maybe it was that I finally felt that I was doing what I should do, that I was doing what I was born to do.
Excuse me. In the circus, we put our vest on our hat. And that means thank you. And then we put our scarf on our vest, on our hat. And that means thank you. And then we put our cane on our scarf, on our hat, on our vest. And that means thank you. And then we put the whole mess on the broomstick. And that means
thank you.
no. It means in the circus, it does not matter how many times you fall down. The only thing that matters is how you land. But really now I must blow something up. I must. You are too kind. You are too.
Thank you.